Hello, welcome to the RDA. Welcome to the channel, guys. I'm your boy Ritter, and today I want to talk about Frenkie De Jong. I want to discuss Frenkie De Jong. Gents, we've been chasing this bloke for 2 months now. 2 months we've been chasing Frenkie De Jong. Is that acceptable? Is that acceptable? That is the point of this video. I want to get into this topic because I'm not sure where I stand. So I want to get into it, I want to discuss it, and hopefully at the end of this video, come to some kind of conclusion. Now, I want to start talking about where is this deal? You know? And now, I'm not gonna bring you some expert updates. That's not the point of this video, you know? So I'm just gonna talk from the point of view of what has been genuinely reported in the media as of this moment, you know? Where is the Frenkie De Jong deal? There is really conflicting reports, you know, from how I'm reading it. There's conflicting reports because there is the first side, which I really don't agree with. And that is that this deal is dead in the water. This deal is dead in the water for one reason and one reason alone. Frenkie De Jong does not want to see himself at Old Trafford. The thought gives him nightmares at night. And now for me, I just don't think, and this is my opinion, you know, call me deluded if you want. It's fine. You know, call me naive, but I just don't think any club, you know, yes, maybe we're just that incompetent. I would like to think not. But I don't think any club goes this deep into discussions, this deep into a deal, if there isn't some kind of assurance that there is a very good chance they can get this player. You know, I mean, we've agreed the fee with Barcelona. We've agreed the fee. How can you get this far and it be said that Frenkie does not want to see himself at Manchester United? It just doesn't add up to me. It's like if you're chasing a pretty girl, you know? Yes, the graft is important, you know? The persistence is important, you know? You gotta stay in there. But there comes a point where you have to take a hint. There comes a point you have to take a hint that, you know what? She's out of my league. Or she doesn't want me, you know? How dare, this is how it is, you know? So, I feel like if it is so that Frenkie De Jong despises the thought of playing at Old Trafford, I feel like we should have taken a hint by now, one, and I feel like this club would have taken a hint if the situation was so. So I do not in any way agree with that argument. I'm on the side of, it's not that simple. I don't think it's that simple. Yes, I do agree that Frenkie De Jong prefers to stay at Barcelona. He does. You know, I think it's his dream club and he's finally there. And, you know, you hear these articles and rumors about how, you know, his girlfriend or fiance now, if I'm not mistaken, prefers to stay in Barcelona and all that jazz, you know. So I do think Barcelona is a preference, but you know, much like us having to take a hint, you know, he also take a hint that he's not wanted at the club anymore. You know, he's not wanted at the club for reasons the club has, financial reasons, financial issues the club has. They can't afford to keep Frenkie De Jong on their books because they need to make room to register other players. So I am very positive that Frenkie De Jong understands this. You know, he gets this. But at the same time, you know, I feel like there's so much more layers to this issue. You know, there's so much more layers. I do think that we have gone so far in this matter because him, Frenkie De Jong being him, and Erik ten Hag have probably had phone calls, have talked and said, you know what? He said, you know what, Frenkie? I want you, bruv. You know, let's do it. You know, remember Ajax? Let's do it again. Let's win the Champions League. Okay. Not even in the Champions League. So I don't know what I'm talking about. But forget I said anything. I think the underlying point here is that I believe Frenkie De Jong and Erik ten Hag have had this conversation. And Frenkie De Jong has, you know, told Erik ten Hag that I would be willing to come to Old Trafford. I would be willing to join you, Gaffer, because seeing that I'm not wanted at Barcelona, I'll be willing to make this move. And I believe that's been communicated to Manchester United, the club. Hence, we're still negotiating for this deal. So I don't believe that's happened. I don't believe that, you know, yes, I know we're run by bankers, but I don't believe that they're so lost, you know, that they're negotiating for a player who doesn't want to come. Come on, no. It can't be that bad. So I do believe Frenkie De Jong has, you know, a willingness to come to Manchester United. And I believe there's a very good chance we're going to get De Jong. But, there's a big but here. You know, is that worth negotiating for a player for 2 freaking months? 2 freaking months. There was a whole period where we weren't signing anyone, you know? Yes, I know now we've got Marcia, we've got Ericsson, we've got, what's the other bloke? I'm getting our new defender. Martinez. We've got Martinez now, you know? We've got our players in, but there was a point for a long period of time, we were not signing at all. Because, you know, we're waiting on Frenkie De Jong, you know, we're waiting on Barca. And I don't know if that's acceptable. I don't know if that's acceptable. Now, I hear Ten Hag's point, you know, in saying that, you know, we want to improve our team, we want to improve our midfield, but, you know, we want to sign the right players, you know. And if we can't sign the right players, we will develop a player, you know. I hear it. I don't know if I completely agree with it. I do agree we need a player like De Jong. We do need a deep lying playmaker. We do. Because I saw against Melbourne victory, you know, we played some nice football, we played some nice triangles, we retained the ball really well. But a big issue I noticed is that the ball would spend too much time in those deeper areas of the pitch, you know, between the attacking midfielders and the back line. In those areas, the ball was remaining in those areas for way too long. It's because the midfielders there do not have the ability to progress the ball quick enough, you know, and that's a problem because the opposition team ends up getting back into shape, and then what could have been a brilliant move is gone to waste. So I do agree we do need a deep line playmaker. It's an integral part to how Ten Hag wants to play football. Whether or not we can develop a player like Frenkie De Jong, I don't know, Eric. Like, who are you gonna develop? Fred, have you seen Fred Blood? Have you seen Fred? So when it comes to developing a player like Frenkie De Jong, I just don't see it. You know, maybe one of the youth, sure, maybe 5 years down the line, we can end up developing a product that is at the quality of Frenkie De Jong, or even close, you know. But I have an issue with that. I have an issue with the stance, because the implication that I'm hearing, and maybe I'm wrong to hear this implication, but the implication I'm hearing is that Frenkie De Jong is bigger than Manchester United. That's what I'm hearing, honestly, because for the life of me, I can't believe that one player, you know, is the only player in that position who could do the job, you know, and, you know, every other choice won't be good enough. I can't believe that. Frenkie De Jong is a brilliant player. Paul Pogba, just to make an example, is a brilliant player, but we can replace them. Why? Because we are Manchester United. We are that big of a club that shouldn't be a problem. You know, there is an insane amount of players, good players. They're not the only, or he's not the only good player who can play as a deep lying midfielder. I refuse to believe that. Yes, I get that sometimes it happens that this player, you know, you just fantasize about this player as a manager because you can just see you're gonna do wonders with them. That's fine. And sometimes you have to, you know, entice the player because, you know, you don't want him to maybe to go to a different club and you really want to get this player. But not for 2 months. Not for 2 months. Once it hits a month, even before that, you're like, you know what? This is a waste of our time. This is a waste of our time and we're not doing this. And you move on and get a player who is good enough to play in that position. Might not be as good, but you make it work, you know? And I get that maybe, you know, he'll be more comfortable with buying a player who he's worked with, maybe just to integrate his style into Manchester United. But no, come on, you know, Eric is a big boy. Eric is a big boy, and Eric will be able to work with a good deep line playmaker. It doesn't have to be Frenkie De Jong, you know. And in no way I might blame the club because from what I hear, he's too much to blame as a club. He wants to go down this line. But for me, 2 months just seems way too long. And I don't like to compare us to Manchester City because they're beneath us. But you see Pep do this all the time. You know, Pep never begs a player. He never does, you know, because he knows, you know, he is Pep. You know, he can get the second best, the third best, you know, or so on, and still make it work, you know. And I think that's the stance big clubs take. Like I said, you can entice a player, you know, for so long, but not 2 months. So I guess the underlying point I'm trying to make, I just think 2 months is too much. So I guess the question is, should we abandon the deal? Well, we've come this far. We've come this far. Because the thing is now, whoever we try to sign, it's gonna be late in the week. going to be late in the window. And Frenkie De Jong is a good player. He is a brilliant player. So, you know what? Maybe might as well. But a situation that would make my head explode is if we go down this line, we keep negotiating and we don't get him and we get no one. Oh, United love this one. United love this one. We don't get him, so we make a panic buy and buy some other bloke. We need a deep line playmaker. We need, actually, if in an ideal world, we need 2 more midfielders on top of what we have, you know? And we need them for next season, otherwise it's a yikes. It's already extremely competitive, so we need to get signings over the line. I think that's the most important thing here. And where we are right now, I think to answer the question, we just need to make a signing in the midfield. Competent signing, good signing, you know? And if it's not Frenkie De Jong, that's fine. If it's Frenkie De Jong, that's fine. But we need to make a signing. That's what's important. And I think that 2 months, it's just too long. And I think we have just overdone it in this team. We've overdone it. We should have never negotiated for this long. And we should have a player right now. He should be playing with the team. And he should be prepping to start against Brighton, which won't happen. Wherever we sign one player against Brighton, because they won't be ready, you know? So look now, that's a problem. But anyway, that's it for this one. Please tell me in the comment section, what do you think United should do from this point? You know, will this fall in the deal? Do we wait it out and get De Jong, you know, and risk the possibility of signing no one? Or do we just jump ship now and sign, you know, another player who can play there? You know, we've heard of Ruben Neves, even though we know that Wolves were gonna quote ridiculous numbers. We've heard about Yuri Tielemans, you know, being mentioned here and there. So should we jump ship? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. It's been a good one. It's been your boy Ritter. You know, please like and subscribe if you like the content, and I'll check you next time.